Hey guys, it's Dennis here from Zeki's Reef. I figured I'd just talk through my system and just focus on the hardware for the time being, and the tank itself. So tank itself is a Waterbox 100.3. Zoom out, you can see 3 foot, nothing too special. I used to have a 7-footer, so this is my first rodeo, and there was an SPS tank. And I've downsized. I've just had a beautiful baby boy. He's about 8 months old now, so we figured it'd be worthwhile downsizing something a little bit more manageable and something that gives me the space to automate a little bit more. So I'll run this until I get a new house. But as you can see, this is a system. So I figured I'd go through the equipment, and what better to start with than the skimmer. This is a Red Sea Regal 209T. It's a bit of a legacy from the previous system. Most of this equipment is. Does a decent job. I've got it skimming wet at the moment because there's barely anything in the system to pull any stuff out, so I can't complain. Little sheepy heater, can't complain about it. I was actually going to run an Eheim Jaeger, my thermal control, really Jaeger, because that's what I've run with for years. And yeah, they just overheat this tank, so I chucked that in there as a bit of a stopgap measure. We'll see how we go. As far as return goes, wave 1 DC 10,000. Very, very overpowered for this system, but I don't care. That's the job. I've got it at its lowest setting. Moving water through there pretty well. Can't complain. Water top off. I have this Water Aqua, I think it is. Water top off unit. Has the optic sensor and all that jazz. Pretty nifty stuff. There's a control for the varios. I've actually got a Aquamedic Reef doser that I might pop up on this shelf here. And what would you be if you didn't have the Vossi bottles? All the Vossi bosses know what I'm talking about. Let's go up to the tank. I'll actually do a livestock video as a separate video here, just to keep it short and sweet. Equipment wise. Alright, so I had an MP40. It's not working too well. I just chucked in the G-bow in there. You can see there. That's my Trident. That's the mule from the previous system. I had 3 of them. That was in the worst repair when I first got it. It's the last one left. It's a mule. It keeps going. It's stubborn. I'll replace this with the Neuro 5. Neuro 5 that's in the holding tank will go here. Should create a bit more turbulence. And like I said, this one will be changing to a Neuro 5 in the coming months. As far as lighting is concerned, I'll be running 2 Kessel A360 WEs. Love Kessels. Don't love the fact they're dumb lights, but it is what it is. I have another one here. It's on the holding tank at the moment, so leave that. So I'm really going to pump this full of light. Aqua or Aquatic Life T5 hybrid. Getting the bulbs ordered in. And they'll be Pacific Sun bulbs because ATI bulbs aren't the easiest to find. I've got Aqua Illumination Hydro 52 HD. Runs fine, can't complain. Might change the layout of this cable. But probably not. See how we go. It's fine now. And as you can see, that's all there. Now as far as maintenance is concerned, I've got a barrel, not really a barrel, it's a wheelie bin of water. Keep here, about 60 litres in here every week. I'll do 10 litres a day. And then the 7th day with a 20 litre water change. Pretty easy. If that, maybe a little bit less. Got barrels that mix in the backyard. Backyard's a junkyard, so I'm not going to show you that. I just want to get some cabinets for cable management. As you can see, I've also got my trusty mule Crocs on. I'll actually have a fortnightly segment called Heat Check, if you guys want to see it. And you can go through some of my sneakers that I have that are far cooler than Crocs, but that's only your opinion. Crocs are awesome. Yeah, cable management. This will all sit on shelving. That controller unit will probably be Velcroed onto the side here. I don't really care how this looks. I care about what inside it looks like, so it doesn't matter. And it's the exact same on this side here with the equipment. So I'll have these mounted onto a cabinet. I'll probably get from IKEA. just on the side there. By that I mean the power bars. Power bricks will sit on the shelves themselves. Easy win, and that should just help keep everything out of the water and nice and neat, which is good. Let's just take a step out so you can see. 3 foot, nothing too crazy. I've had a 7 footer, I think they're great. I think you really want to, with a 7 footer, and these are the learnings from my past mistakes, I'd like to build a 7 footer into a house rather than just chuck it in. It's just for things like water changes and things like that. When it comes to automating them, I have to drill through a wall and then heat things outside. It's a bit of a nuisance. I know I live in Australia, but it does get cold where I live. Not as cold as like Toronto, Canada, or further north like Nova Scotia, but it still gets fresh. So for me, having everything inside in an insulated house is probably going to be more ideal. And that's where I'd like to build, maybe not a 7 footer again. I didn't like the fact you really had to stretch for water movement in a 7 footer. I'd probably go with a 4x3x2 or a 5x3x2, just for the extra size. And then I can chuck my Desjardins Cellophane Sand, which is at my friend's shop, Scarface, into this, or into that tank, which would be great. But yeah, I'd really build it in. Have the water changing in another room, the sump in another room, so cleaning the skimmer, all that equipment's really easy. And then have the tank on the adjacent wall. And really just have the lighting on that side and the wave makers when it comes to power draw. Everything else sits in another room. That's how I'd like to set that up. But for this size tank, it works fine in here. I can still set up all the water changes here. If I put a cabinet here, set an X2 SR up on it, pump water out of that, or I'll just get a glass container. You can't get the really nice looking 50 litre jerry cans that you can get in Europe here. They're all ugly. So I just grab like a nice glass container, 40 litres, pop this bin somewhere else and have the waste run into that, and I can just wheel this out, pump it into the drain, wheel it back at a scheduled time every week. Bish bash bosh. Yeah, there you go, there's my system. I'm uploading the livestock aspect of it as well in another video in just a moment, so if you want to watch that, go nuts, go ape shit. Yeah, it's me, it's Dennis, this is Zeki's Reef, and hope you guys all reef easy.